Garouden, The Way of the Lone Wolf is a new anime series on Netflix based on the novel series Garouden by Baku Yumemakura, consisting of a set of 13 novels that were released between July 1985 and March 2003. The novel series follows the journey of Bunshichi Tanba, a martial artist and formidable fighter who seeks to become the strongest fighter in the world by challenging and defeating the best fighters of his time. He visits different dojos and successfully defeats their best fighters, making a name for himself as a feared dojo crusher. But all of that changes after an unfortunate defeat that temporarily pauses his quest and forces him to reconsider his abilities. Premiered on May 23, 2024, the Netflix series made an unconventional move by sidelining the lead character, focusing on the journey of Juzo Fujimaki, a supporting character in the novel and manga series. The anime series focuses on him dealing with his troubled past while he's forced to participate in a deadly underground fighting tournament. In this video, we'll examine the similarities and differences between the novel series and the Netflix adaptation while placing emphasis on the character of Bunshichi Tanba in each of them separately. So, without wasting any time, let's dive right into it. Who is Bunshichi Tanba? His origin and backstory from the manga. Bunshichi Tanba is the central character in the Garouden novel and manga series created by Baku Yumemakura and illustrated by Keisuke Itagaki. Tanba is portrayed as a formidable street fighter from an early age, whose journey through the harsh world of underground martial arts forms the core narrative of the series. Tanba wished to become the strongest man in the world for as long as he could remember. For that, he started training in various martial arts forms. His relentless pursuit, rigorous training, and strong determination made him an impressive martial artist at a young age. He became a rough and tough street fighter, possessed with the sole purpose of mastering hand-to-hand combat and using it to defeat every opponent that he faced. Tanba was physically gifted with a muscular body and an above-average height. The scar on his eyebrow made him look even more intimidating. Besides his commanding presence, Tanba also carries a fearless attitude and overt arrogance. He would often exploit his opponent's mental and physical weaknesses, such as arrogance and injuries, and use a condescending tone when challenging someone for a fight. Tanba's fighting style is a hybrid, incorporating elements of various martial arts disciplines such as judo, karate, and wrestling. He's a master of karate, but during fights, he also uses wrestling techniques, jiu-jitsu grappling methods, and dirty street fighting moves. He's known for his exceptional physical strength, speed, and tactical acumen in combat. Later in life, he became Japan's biggest dojo crusher. He would travel from one dojo to another in various cities and challenge the master of every dojo that came across his path, mercilessly beating their best fighters. His life came to a halt when he was defeated by a fighter named Toshio Kajiwara, affiliated with the Federation of Amateur Wrestling. Kajiwara was the #1 fighter at their gym and was able to beat Tanba after a fierce battle. This loss left the martial arts prodigy down and heartbroken by his complete failure. He left the business of dojo crushing for the next 3 years and continued to train in silence. After 3 years, he returned as a formidable fighter, becoming almost undefeatable. A crucial aspect of Tanba's journey is his quest for redemption and self-discovery. Despite his aggressive exterior, Tanba's character is explored in depth through his interactions with other fighters and the personal demons he confronts. His encounters with other fighters like Shozan Matsuo, Juzo Fujimaki, and Ryuji Kubo turn him into a different man. The manga mentions that Tanba knows war-level destruction techniques that are implied to be beyond any other form of karate. However, he tends to hold himself back from using his true power until it's a life-threatening scenario. Garouden has been further expanded through 2 spin-off manga series. The first is Shin Garouden, which follows the journey of Bunkichi Tanba, an ancestor of Bunshichi from the Meiji era. The second one is called Garouden Boy, a prequel to Garouden, with Bunshichi as the main protagonist. What is Netflix's Garouden, The Way of the Lone Wolf about? The Netflix series follows the journey of Juzo Fujimaki, a skilled martial artist on the run from the law who's been blackmailed into joining a brutal underground fighting tournament. The 8-episode series shows Juzo fighting internal and external battles. He must confront formidable opponents and his troubled past while evading a determined detective who wants to catch him for personal reasons. The show begins with Juzo Fujimaki fighting and killing a brown bear using a move called the Tiger King from a special karate style, the Takamiya Ryu, which combines elements of Aikido, Jiu-Jitsu, and karate. He's been pursued by authorities for the past 4 years over a homicide case. Fujimaki is a tall and impressively built man with a stoic personality. He's a loner and prefers solitude over socialization, and most importantly, he's shown to have a troubled past and often struggles to contain his violent impulses, due to which he avoids fights at all costs. The truth of his violent past is eventually revealed, and it's shown that he savagely killed the man who assaulted his beloved, Seiko, whose shocked eyes upon witnessing witnessing his act set him on the run from her, the law, and himself. This act of retribution becomes a defining moment in Fujimaki's life, fueling his subsequent actions and shaping his complex personality. Fujimaki's act of killing the bear creates ripples in the martial arts world and caught the attention of a powerful woman named Sergeant, who organized a Squid Game-esque illegal martial arts tournament, Budoku, where a fight to the death is far from out of the question. Fujimaki is blackmailed into joining the tournament with Jose Carlos Nagata, a banned boxer, as his advisor. He fights tough opponents in close matches and becomes the champion, but instead of getting his murder case closed as a prize, he demands to get Jose's name cleared for professional boxing. Unlike many other characters in the series, Fujimaki is not motivated purely by the desire to test his strength or achieve glory. His actions are often driven by the need for redemption and a quest to settle personal scores. This duality makes him an intriguing anti-hero as he oscillates between moments of brutal violence and introspective self-awareness. Fujimaki's journey through the brutal world of underground martial arts while dealing with the killer instinct that often takes him to the brink of murder is an interesting exploration of the darker aspects of the human psyche. The animation is praised for its realistic depiction of martial arts movements and the emotion of the fighters performing them, making it a thrilling watch for fans of the genre. What's Bunshichi's role in the Netflix anime adaptation? The unconventional decision to switch main protagonists is a bold move from Netflix, but somehow it fits the 8-episode series format. Bunshichi's backstory is about ambition and personal glory, whereas Fujimaki's tragic past and internal struggle make him a more compelling lead character for this dark adaptation. However, it should be noted that Bunshichi's presence is still felt throughout the series. He's introduced in the very first episode where he challenges Fujimaki to a fight, but the latter declines. When Tanba notices an unhealed wound on Fujimaki's chest, withdraws his challenge, saying that it would be an unfair fight. This scene shows that Tanba is more understated and mature in this version of the story, as he never belittles his opponents or shows any kind of arrogance throughout the series. One reason for this shift in personality can be that the story takes place after his defeat at the hands of Kajiwara and his subsequent 3-year disappearance. Or maybe the makers wanted to intentionally make his character more considerate and mature to make him more palatable for modern audiences. Whatever the reason may be, he always appears to be a charming side character in the first season, often crossing paths with Fujimaki, his friends, and acquaintances. While the narrative is focused on Fujimaki following his various intentional and unintentional fights, the other characters from the novel and manga, such as Shozan Matsuo, Tsutomu Himikawa, Jose Carlos Nagata, AJ Mifune, and Seiko all get enough space to mark their presence. Bunshichi's character in the Netflix adaptation might appear different, but his desire and motivations are the same: be the strongest man in the world. It's evident from his constant travel to different dojos and the challenging of their masters that he's still a dojo crusher. In one scene, he challenges Soichiro Izumi, an old Takamiya Ryu-style fighter who is Seiko's father and Fujimaki's master. Along with Izumi, Seiko, and Tsutomu Himikawa, Shozan Matsuo's protege from the Hokushin Karate School comes to the meeting place to witness the fight. Izumi gives Tanba a good fight and seems to be very resilient against the powerful punches of his younger opponent, but in the end, Tanba overpowers him and comes out as the winner. The first season of the series ends with an electrifying fight between Juzo Fujimaki and Seiko's current lover, Tsutomu Himikawa. Both fighters go head-to-head in a long and tiring match that pushes each of them to the edge of their strength. The two fighters fight with the ferociousness of wild beasts and the calmness of monks, winning the hearts of all those witnessing the spectacle. However, Himikawa emerges as the winner of this fight by reversing Fujimaki's famous Tiger King move. Tanba was among the audience members who witnessed this glorious fight between the titans. In the final scene of the last episode, we see Tanba with his friend and disciple, Ryuji Kubo, contemplating the reality of their physical capabilities against incredibly strong men like Fujimaki and Himikawa, and how they must train harder to compete. What to expect from Garouden Season 2? There has not been an official confirmation regarding the return of Garouden: The Way of the Lone Wolf for a second season. Netflix is likely assessing the anime's performance with audiences before they decide upon its future. The Garouden novel series is also ongoing and has a lot to be explored in the future. The series has received mixed responses from critics and viewers. The animation and cinematography are being widely praised, but there has been criticism leveled against the pacing of the narrative and the unimpressive fight choreography. However, given that the martial arts anime is already quite popular and Netflix has developed multiple seasons of shows like Baki and Kengen Ashura, fans of Garouden can be hopeful for a second season. If that happens, the story might focus more on Bunshichi Tanba as co-protagonist with Fujimaki. The ending of the first season seems to certainly point in that direction. Though Fujimaki lost the fight to Himikawa in the final episode, he won the inner battle that he had been fighting for the last 4 years. He finally understood that Seiko was not disgusted or frightened by the fact that he had murdered her assaulter in cold blood. The next season wouldn't have to spend much time building his character or showcasing his inner turmoil. This leaves ample space for other characters to shine, especially Tanba. Jose Carlos Nagata will probably be seen doing more boxing as his ban was lifted, and Eiji Mifune and Saito might also make a comeback. But the most intriguing part of the story that's left unresolved is the love triangle between Fujimaki, Seiko, and Himikawa. Would Seiko leave Himikawa and get back with Fujimaki? Seiko has been established as a character who wants her partner to be the strongest man in the world. Given that Himikawa defeated Fujimaki, she might just stick with him. But Himikawa said while being congratulated after winning the fight that the next time their brawl might end in a different result. Whatever the result of the love triangle is, there's certainly going to be a rematch between Fujimaki and Himikawa. Throughout the first season, there were epic encounters between vicious fighters on multiple occasions under tense circumstances, and future seasons would probably continue this by pitching the popular characters against each other in high-stakes tournaments. Marvelous verdict! The anime, directed by Atsushi Ikaria, is an ambitious endeavor that features a host of talented voice cast, including Kenjiro Suda, Junichi Suwabe, and Yoshimasa Hosoya. The animation by Naz Animation Studios is being praised for its realistic depiction of martial arts movements, making it a thrilling watch for fans of the genre. To ensure the realism of the combat, Netflix revealed that the series took inspiration from real life by capturing footage of martial artists from diverse backgrounds, such as boxing, karate, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, wrestling, and sumo. The Garouden novel series is a love letter to the martial arts and features many characters that have been inspired by real-life martial artists. The Netflix adaptation has mostly been able to maintain the essence of the source material by paying attention to the intricacies of martial arts techniques, while also telling a complex story with dark and realistic themes like vengeance, glory, redemption, and the examination of the true meaning of strength. Did you watch Netflix's Garouden, The Way of the Lone Wolf? Where does it stand compared to other martial arts anime like Baki? What's your expectations of season 2 of the series? Would it have been better if it focused on Bunshichi Tanba as the protagonist? Comment down below to let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like this video, share with your anime friends, and subscribe to Marvelous Anime.